The top performers are proudly sponsored by Warrington Wolves Supporters Trust Squad Builder. Here are your top performers from round number 27 of the Betfred Super League. The top try scorers, both with hat-tricks, Cameron Scott of Wakefield Trinity and Will Tate of the Casford Tigers. The most try assists came from Jake Truman of Wakefield, he got 4. Whilst the top meter maker of the round was Arthur Morg at Craven Park, 176 for the Robins. The top tackle buster was Tom Johnstone of Wakefield Trinity with 13. Whilst the most clean breaks came from Will Tate of the Casford Tigers at the Totally Wicked Stadium, he got 3. The most hard metres made down the middle came from Josh Griffin of Wakefield Trinity, 138 metres. Whilst the top tackler was Jared O'Connor of the Leeds Rhinos with 55. And finally, the most goal kicks in the round, 8 from 9, was Mason Lino of Wakefield Trinity. These were your top performers from round 27. This production comes to you in association with the Bluebell Warrington. Situated in an 18th century building in the town centre and just a 5-minute walk from the HJ Stadium, the Bluebell is the perfect destination for pre- and post-game food and drink. The 2024 Warrington Pub of the Year is now the official home of Super League Raw on Warrington Wolves match days for both home and away supporters. Super League Raw are delighted to have agreed a members-only area, allowing our community to come together to discuss rugby league pre- and post-match. So set your course to the Bluebell Warrington on match days and beyond. You are sure to be greeted with a warm welcome and a cold beer. Super League Raw and the Bluebell, the perfect partnership in enhancing your match day experience. So good evening and welcome to Super League Raw Weekly on this fine Tuesday evening. Good evening, gentlemen. Are you well?
Very well, sir. Thank you. Are you?
Marvellous. Yes. Very well. Stressed as always on a Tuesday night at about 5 to 8. But what can you do? Right, let's get into the chat. Rebecca Fraser with us, Kerry Robinson's with us, Dawn Kirkby, Craig Forth, Carl Shaw, Keith Lambert, Ollie Stokes, Adam Reeves, Matt Timms, Greg Roach. Oh, yes, they're all flying in. Make sure you keep getting involved a lot on the show this evening for you folks. We're going to be doing the coach, team and player of the month for September. But it's not the end of September, Dave. No, it's not, but we only do the regular season for teams of the week and for of course, teams of the month. So that's the reason for that. So that's coming this evening. We're going to take a look at the final Albert Goldthorpe table, and we are announcing this evening the winner of the 2025 Super League Raw Trophy. All the calculations have been done, so that's done. We're not going to let you know too much over and above that, because of course next week we're going to announce our dream team once all the analytics and everything's been took into account. So that's on the way this evening. Yours truly, as you know, was at the launch of the dream team down at Ellen Road yesterday. So we've got a bit of footage from that for you. All the members will get everything. There's well over an hour, if not more, of interviews and content that are coming your way. But what I've done tonight is I've got a little bit just to whet your appetite here on Super League Raw. So an exclusive with Brad Arthur, Paul Wellens. We're going to see Peet, Willie Peters, and I had a bit of fun with the Hull FC fans as well. Hull FC, of course, sometimes they feel as if we're not very fair on them, but we're going to be fair tonight. I had a bit of fun with a couple of the Hull FC boys. What's he saying?
Nick Young's saying he's going to miss this in the off-season.
You're not, mate. You're not, because we go right away through, Chief.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to worry about that. Super League Raw Weekly will go right the way through the winter. And if you remember, we've got Super League University Challenge. For members, you need to start canvassing now. Teams of 4. Who's going to be in your team of 4? All the details of that coming in October. But yes, we'll be playing. No final whistle. But we've got University Challenge, and there will be prizes for the winners. All good. Super Chats is open, as always. If you fancy buying us a beer, I'm about to pour this little beauty in a moment, but I've been that busy, I've not had a chance yet. Then I will certainly do that. But right, lads, let's get into the debate, starting with, of course, the final league table. Greg, about right, I'd say.
Yeah, I think the table generally doesn't lie. Hull KR tailed off towards the end, but have definitely been the form side throughout most of the regular weeks of the season. Wigan Warriors, solid as usual. Not had as much as a blip as he did last season, from memory serves me right. Still had a few injuries and still managed to keep up there. Leopards, what a season for the Leopards. Absolutely fantastic, and Leeds have done what Leeds have done or regularly used to do up until a few years ago, and come good right at the right time of the season to finish in that top 4. So, and big shout out to Wakefield. We didn't think they'd go down because Darryl Powell's a great coach, and they'd assembled a decent team. But to finish 6 is absolutely fantastic for Wakefield, especially given the strong finish. If Hull could have won those home games at the beginning of the season, they could have finished 4th. So, fantastic for Wakefield. Unlucky Hull, but their early season form, I don't think really merited them a top 6 finish at the end of the day.
Yeah, we won't go much lower than that. I don't think there's no real point. But good to see that Steve Rogers joined just as we're talking about the train. Good interview, Steph, with Mr. McMeekin. I enjoyed that one. Did you enjoy it, mate?
Yeah, it was really, really good to hear from Mike. I think he's been exceptional this season as, one of the veterans now in that Wakefield side. He's certainly led from the front for Wakefield, and he's been their inspiration, hasn't he, in terms of how they've gone toe-to-toe with the best packs in Super League. So, but credit to Mike, and well-deserved Dream Team award for him as well.
Yeah, if you haven't seen that, that's available on our socials. I launched that one yesterday. Look, he was very relaxed, wasn't it? It's like we're old friends, me and Mr. McMeekin. But no, it was a really, really good chat. But no, I mean, Steph, same again, mate. I think probably the order of those top 6, I don't think anybody can argue with the top 6, and I think the order of it is right.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting for me that we've had none of the top 6 finish on the same points this year. So points difference hasn't come into it for the top 6. So everyone is there on merit, regardless of whether you got Salford at a certain time or whatever in terms of the points difference. But no, it's been a great season. I echo what Greg said. In terms of Hull FC, if they hadn't had injuries to key players, I think they could have potentially nipped Wakefield there. But I'm glad Wakefield have got in because they've thoroughly deserved it. They've been outstanding this year, and they've been a joy to watch as well as a neutral. They've played it in the way we like rugby league to be played, or the majority of people like rugby league to be played. And they're going to come into the playoff strong, and they're going to be no pushovers for Leeds. It's going to be an absolute cracking game at the LSV, as is Saints and Leeds the day after, because those two have got a lot of history this season, and Saints have had the better Leeds over recent history. So yes, it's a Headingley, but that's going to be another belter on Saturday.
Fantastic. Mark, getting excited. 2 weeks till the grand final. He's getting a bit giddy. The boy, is it 2 weeks or is it 3?
Three. It's
It's
isn't it?
He's getting a bit giddy there, he's Mark, but he can't wait for the grand final and spending it with the community. And Nick Young has said, if I stop calling him Neil, he'll become a member. Okay, Neil, I'll call you Nick. Good man. We'll be keeping an eye on it now. You've got to join tonight, and then we'll be very, very happy. Fantastic. Dave had to bring Sammy Holt in to save the quiz. That was at the Bluebell they're talking about there. Yeah, I have to say, Matty Timms and Mark didn't. Yeah, you need a strong team, boys, in University Challenge U2. Shocking in the Bluebell before that Salford. I mean, to be fair, Salford performed better than Matt. Dear God. Anyway, speaking of the Bluebell, need all you as much support as possible. Those who live in and around Warrington. I know Adam Reeves and Simon Shaw came last time. I know Tony Pennington's planning on coming. I believe the Wilcos are planning on coming as well. As many people as possible, please. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock in the Bluebell in Warrington is the quiz night. 2 quizzes. They run concurrently. It went actually pretty smoothly. We tried it for the first time last month and it went really well. So there's going to be a rugby league quiz for rugby league enthusiasts and a general knowledge quiz for general knowledge enthusiasts. And of course, you can play both if you're there, if you want, if you've got 2 phones. So you can actually chance your arm on both quizzes. There will be prizes for the winners as always. So come to the Bluebell. If you're listening to the podcast, obviously it will be tonight as you're listening to it, 7 o'clock at the Bluebell. Come down and come and enjoy a night of quizzing. Come and have a great night with Super League Raw. Need your support for this, guys. And it's important because the Bluebell have supported us so much that we support them. We couldn't do the show without our sponsors. It's as simple as that. Right. Also, still available, of course, your opportunity to come to the Ashes with Super League Raw, Game 2 at Everton, sold out. But if you want to, book your place, get an opportunity to come with us. 2 tickets will be going for free. The week after the grand final, we'll announce who's won them. Of course, that's going to be a random draw. If you want to increase your chances, members, of coming to that Ashes Game 2, do the QR code, go to the website, www.superleagueraw.com, go to the shop and get your tickets. You could be coming to that with us. Right, that's enough Super League Raw news for now. We'll come back to more later. Let's get to the record breakers, shall we? And here they are this week. Interesting. Oh, that's the wrong graphic. It's the wrong graphic. I tell you, up against it, boys. I was up against it. I don't mind telling you, I was up against it. I've had a nightmare. That should be the right graphic. And it is. There you go. Fantastic. Apologies to Jordan Lane. I omitted Jordan. I realised that just as we were coming on the show. Jordan made 150 Super League appearances at the weekend. Well done to Jordan Lane. Tommy Makinson scored a try for the Catalan Dragons, which now means he's standalone 4th place in the all-time try scoring charts for Super League. So well done to Tommy Mack. He also played his 200th game in Super League as well. So well done to Tommy Makinson. Oliver Gildart, he made 200 appearances in his career, as also did Ash Goulding. Joe Greenwood, he was 200 in Super League. And Tom Johnstone, he got a try, 100 now for Wakefield Trinity in 2 stints. Boys, you will extend your congratulations, I'm sure.
Certainly will. Jordan Lane as well. He's had a lot of injury problems early in his career. So, that's fantastic. That's a fantastic achievement for Jordan. Well done. Well done to all of them. Tommy Makinson, be interested to know how many Tesco meal deals he's got with those tries. But, I'm going to let it go now.
There it is. Can't let it go, can you? You just can't let it go. Can't let it go. Somebody scan the QR code. Is that Neil? Oh, sorry, Nick. Happy days. It could be worse. You could be called Stephanie. We won't go there. Anyway, let's, you know the pain of that, Mr. Sale, don't you? Right, okie dokie. I'm good with faces. I'm terrible with names. Let's get into Player of the Year awards. 4 more have been announced for their respective clubs. Let's go through these one by one. Steph, Zach Hardacre leaves the Leopards, goes to FC and walks away with the Player of the Year. And I think it's just desserts. I think he's been exceptional this year.
Yeah, over the moon for Zach. He did a brilliant job when he was at Lee. A lot of Lee fans would have wanted him to stay at Lee just for what he did there. And but a few people questioned his move to FC as well. Is it Father Time? Could he still hack it? And going into that team as well, who did so poorly last year. He needed some monumental efforts from players coming in, and Zach's repaid that tenfold for them. He's been outstanding for FC this year, used in a variety of positions as well, which is always the toughest for you to get any consistency and anything like that. But he's first name on the team sheet, isn't he, at FC, in terms of his efforts, his work rate, and also his leadership. And he's really turned into, someone who those younger FC players are looking up to. You can see that on the pitch. And Cartwright obviously really values what he brings to that team. So, no, it's been recognised not just by FC fans, but by the neutrals as well. He's had a superb season.
He has indeed. And Lewis Martin got the Young Player of the Year. I think all of us very comfortable with that. Greg, we'll move across to Warrington.
Yeah.
Josh Fulis, the Player of the Year at Warrington. Again, I think richly deserved. I think he's been very good.
I think he's been outstanding this season, to be honest. He does take a lot of pelters from Warrington fans, and unfairly, I think. Leading try scorer. I think he's improved his game, and I think he's been one of the standout players in a poor season. He has he scored a couple of fantastic tries in that as well. A big shout out to his brother who's come through and was second highest try scorer for the season, but thoroughly deserved it. Josh, he's safe under a high ball. He's done his stint at fullback as well. His defence has been questioned a lot this season, but I think it's improving, and I think, like you say, Dave, fully deserved. Been consistently good all through the season.
He has indeed. And of course, Jake got Young Player of the Year. So what an incredible night for the Fulis family. I mean, the pride of those parents to have not only both of them in the same team, but one to win Player of the Year and one to win Young Player of the Year. Absolutely. I've got a cold, so if I'm not speaking properly, please forgive me. I'm a bit bunged up. My sinuses are all over the place. But I always turn up for you folks. You know what I'm saying? Right, let's go over to Hull KR, Steph, and the man pictured there, Jez Litton. There is an interview coming with Jez. Yes, I sat down with Jez yesterday. Great interview with Jez Litton over his year at KR. But what a year he's had. And again, fitting that he took away the KR Player of the Year.
Yeah, well, in a team full of stars, really, what they've got at KR now, in a phenomenal season. Jez has been right there at the top of it. A shoe-in for England 9 for me. If he doesn't start the Ashes, then there's something seriously wrong. By far the best hooker in Super League, and it wasn't even close this year for me. So no surprises that he's won that. And for someone who's small in stature, he tackles well above his weight. So I think not only is his tackling play, his defence has been outstanding this year for KR. He's really led from the front, and someone who can do 80 minutes as well, if required. And another one who has been played in different positions as well. He's got into the halves when he's had to as well this year, and really took one for the team. So, no, great player. Like I say, starting 9 for England for me, and well deserved.
And on the Young Player of the Year was Billy Leyland. So well done to him. I have to say, I was a bit surprised that Boovy didn't get that, if I'm being honest.
Well, he's not really played that many games lately, does he? So, but saying that, I think KR have had the least amount of players used this season. So they've not really they've not really had a real breakout young player who's played consistently all season for them, have they, really, at KR? It's been mainly their first team. But yeah, I get the Booth point. He's played well when he's had the opportunity.
When he's been called, he's played very well. So a bit surprised about that. And then finally, Wigan Warriors, another team littered with stars, and Jay Field took that one, Greg. Again, deserved for me. No problems with that.
None at all. He's had some injury problems this season. But when he's on the pitch, he's explosive, and the kind of the almost paranormal relationship he has with Bevan French. They seem to know where each other is on the pitch. And it's been witnessed in some of the tries they've scored this season. Yeah, thoroughly deserved. There's a lot of standout players at Wigan. I think Eckersley's had a good season, and Sember's done well, and Sember's been solid and built on last season. But yeah, for me, thoroughly deserved.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. Very, very good. Very good indeed. So there you go. They're the players. There's only a few left to go, I think. Catalan rings a bell. I've not seen anything on the Catalan Dragons yet. Who else is missing? Lee, yeah. Cass have done theirs. That's it, isn't it? Just them two, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just them two. But to be fair, they've been pretty solid this year in terms of who's got them at club level. I've been pretty relaxed over that, I have to say.
Yeah.
Very, very good indeed.
No
Right.
argument.
Let's get into Coach of the Month for September. Like I say, the Coach of the Month for September is very much about the regular season. That's how it's done. Of course, the Dream Team has been done now, 27 rounds. It's the same with the coaches. They don't take into account the playoffs. And there's 2 contenders in September. Those contenders are Matt Peet and Adrian Lamb. These, of course, have won all 3 games in the month of September. Matt Peet, a 4-18 win at the Totally Wicked Stadium, a 62-6 win against the Tigers. Some would say statement. Good evening, Mr. Fourth. And the Rhinos, 22-6 at the weekend. As for the Leopards, a 34-12 win at the Wire, followed up by a 28-10 win against Saints, and then a real arm wrestle against the Giants, 30 points to 16. I'll come to you first, Greg, as no Sam Burgess on the screen. Your thoughts on these two? Who would you give it to?
I would just, for the teams they've played, sorry, Steph, I'd just give it to Matty Peet. Saints and Rhinos. Rhinos are both teams who've come into form at the right time of the season. A statement win against the Tigers. You know, Lammy's done really, really well there, but they've gone to a Wire team low on confidence. A great win against Saints. But the Giants have kind of struggled this season, come into a bit of form again at the end of it. But I'd just have Matty Peet as my winner.
Nige Bennett is he's not buying me a beer, he's buying me Beecham's. Good man. Cheers, Nige. I appreciate that. Actually, as that comes up, Nige has changed his icon to the new Castleford badge. What do you make of the new Castleford Tigers badge, boys, whilst it's fresh in my mind?
I said it looks like it's been done on from a 7th League football team on Football Manager, but I'm not the person to be talking about badges given the amount of ridicule we got when we changed ours. So I'll defer on that one and let Gregory pass.
Sunday title. Well, again, I'm not in much of a position to comment, seeing as we've got a badger as our badge instead of a wolf. There was a program in the 70s called Animal Quackers, which featured a lion on lead vocals. Look it up on YouTube or on the Tinterweb, and you'll see what I mean. I'm not impressed.
Fair enough. I mean, to be fair, I think, you know, with change always come. People don't like change. I quite like the old one. I don't think there was anything wrong with the old one. I thought it was a good badge, but hey ho, that's life. We move on. Right, Steph, your thoughts? 2 really good performances from both Lee and Wigan in the month of September.
Yeah, it was, and it's really difficult to split this one because, you know, you could trade most of them. The Leeds one from Wigan at the end was a nothing game in the end, wasn't it? Really, yeah, there's nothing to split. I'm going to sit in the fence on this one, and I'll pass it over, given as I've got skin in the game on this as well. Yeah. The only way I could split it is my coach, but I think just on the thing, you'd have to give it to Peet because it's Saints and Leeds, 2 of the top 6 there, where we were playing teams outside of the top 6. You'd have to give it to Peet for me.
And that is where it's gone for that reason. Exactly that. Because Matt Peet went up against 2 top 6 sides. That's what edged it for him. Nothing more, nothing less. So yeah, Matt Peet gets the final Coach of the Month. He gets the September title. Many congratulations to him for that. But like you say, very, very little. As thin as an A4 piece of paper between them. As Nicola Burton Wood says, Lamb, once we've announced it's Peet, but she still gives us 3 kisses anyway. So she's clearly not better. Right, okie dokie then. So that's the coach. So now it's time, of course, to announce the team of the month for September. Here it comes.
Team of the Month is sponsored by David Presley as Elvis. If you want your wedding all shook up, contact David Presley today.
It is now time to announce the Simply Raw Team of the Month for September rounds 25 to 27. At fullback will be Jay Field of the Wigan Warriors. He got 3 tries, 3 assists, 18 busts, 4 breaks, 41 carries for 494 metres. On the wing on debut, Will Tate of Casford Tigers. 3 tries, 2 assists, 7 busts, 3 breaks, 47 carries for 273 metres. In centre will be Cameron Scott of Wakefield Trinity. 4 tries, 2 assists, 12 busts, 2 offloads, 46 carries for 399 metres. In centre is Yamala Hanley of the Lee Leopards. He got a try, 3 assists, 25 busts, 3 breaks, 46 carries for 399 metres. On the wing, keeping his place month on month, is Liam Marshall of the Wigan Warriors. 3 tries, 1 assist, 3 breaks, 8 busts, 53 carries for 337 metres. At standoff will be Bevan French of the Wigan Warriors. 2 tries, 4 assists, 18 busts, 14 attacking kicks, 39 carries for 220 metres. Alongside him will be Mason Leno of Wakefield Trinity. He got a try, 3 assists, 15 attacking kicks, 41 in general play, 11 goals and 30 carries. It prop is Mikkel Angeletsky of the Leeds Rhinos. 1 try, 79 tackles for a 94% efficiency, 7 busts, 37 carries for 305 metres. At hooker, keeping his place month on month, is Jez Litton of the Robins. 1 try, 97 tackles, 8 busts, 14 runs from dummy half, 22 carries for 146 metres. At prop will be Ethan Havard of the Wigan Warriors. A try, 82 tackles, 96% tackle efficiency, 10 busts, 44 carries for 279 metres. In second row will be Hull FC's Zach Hardacre. He got a try, an assist, 17 busts, 98 tackles, 35 carries for 246 metres. Alongside him will be Sam Walters of the Wigan Warriors. 92 tackles, 13 from marker, 98% tackle efficiency, 5 busts, 42 carries for 280 metres. And finally, at loose forward will be Wakefield Trinity's Jay Peet. 119 tackles, 19 from marker, 96% tackle efficiency, 4 busts, 37 carries, making 186 metres. And on the bench this month will be Arthur Morg of Hull KR, Alex Mellor of the Casford Tigers, Frankie Holton of Lee Leopards, and Redolph Fatoni of Wakefield Trinity. This is your team of the month for September. So there you go, folks. That's the team of the month for September. I don't know where Reggie's gone. Reggie's gone somewhere. Don't know where he is. Yeah, he's back. There he is.
Oh, yeah.
There you are. Don't know what the application's in. Don't know what that's all about. But yeah, there's the team of the month. Steph, do you want to start us off with thoughts?
Well, Bevan French back with a bang, isn't it? I think is the headline in that one. Great September for him. Mason Leno's been outstanding as well for Wakefield, all season. So two great halfbacks there. Jayfield again hitting form. Now Bevan's back. He did a lot of work without him there. Now he's back. They've got that partnership back again. So that sends a danger to everyone in the league, doesn't it? Great to see Zach there and Walters in the second row. Again, 2 players who've had really, really good seasons. And Pitts as well at Wakefield. What a season he's had for someone of his age, to still be performing and be a leader for Wakefield. A bit like Mike McMeekin, he's been right up there for me this year. I think he's featured in quite a few Team of the Weeks and a few Team of the Months as well. So yeah, and of course, Jez Litton. He must have the most 9 appearances this year, definitely.
Absolutely. Greg Roach running where Zach Wolford is. He's been upset. He's Greg. Had a great season, Mr. Wolford, but not in our, he's competitive, Greg. Competitive. Number 9, one of the most competitive shirts in the league, bar none. I was talking about that with Jez Little yesterday. That's coming your members' way very, very soon. Good chat it was too. Mr. Nixon, your thoughts on the team?
Again, the number of Wakefield players in there.
Yeah.
There was a few Wakefield players in top performers at the top of the show. 5 or 6 in there. There's another 4 in there. They're hitting the straps. Wakefield. They've done really, really well this season. As Steph says, Leno's been outstanding. Good to see. It's good to see Field back and Bevan French back. Ethan Havard as well. I mean, he's had his injury problems as well this season. He's one of the best props in the game when he's fully fit. And Sam Walters, could have been and should have been maybe contender for the dream team, but maybe let down by the fact he's played at prop and second row this season, hasn't really nailed down one particular position that might have gone against him for Dream Team this year, but certainly had a great season.
Yeah, incredible. And I'll tell you what, I mean, Will Tate, take a bow, lad.
Yeah.
Take a bow. Will Tate, unbelievable. No take a bow this week, no wobble this week. We've got too much to do. They might be back next week. But yeah, Will Tate, in the nicest possible way, take a bow, sir, because what an incredible September he's had. He was exceptional as well at the Totally Wicked at the weekend. Unbelievable. Great effort. Great effort. So there you go. So you know the score by now. We will come back to this later in the show, and we will be asking you, who do you believe from that 1 to 13? We don't do the bench, remember, is the player of the month. So that's going to be down to you guys a little bit later. But now it's time for this.
Banging or hanging?
This is what would Oliver say at Super League Raw. So I've been thinking about the disciplinary points, and I think they should be reset for the playoffs. For example, James Litton has 5.5 points, which is pretty impressive for a full season, but if he gets half a point more, he will miss the grand final if we get there. It would also make players more nervous and probably not play as good because they don't want to be penalised. So I think the points should be reset, or some of the points they have should be removed, and not just once they've served a ban. Also, I'd just like to say, I'm so proud of Rovers. We might not have finished the league the way we wanted to, but we got the job done, and they've given us an amazing year, whether we get to the final or not. What do you think, Super League Raw?
So what do we think? Super League Raw, as always, Ollie, talking a lot of sense. Steph, I'll start with you. Your thoughts on what would Oliver say?
Yeah, no, I completely agree with Oliver there. If, for instance, Jez did, a silly high tackle or, something that wasn't really worthy of a ban in previous disciplinary systems and then gets banned and doesn't get to play in the grand final, that would be criminal. I think it should count for the regular season, absolutely. I've liked the disciplinary system. I think it's a lot better this year. I think we've seen less bans. I don't know if that's factually correct, but it feels like that. But yeah, I think this time of the year, we don't want to see superstar players missing out on grand finals because of something that wouldn't have got them a ban under a previous system. So for me, yeah, unless they got a ban in round 27, and worthwhile ban, then that should obviously continue into the playoffs. So if, for instance, LFC had made it at Ashworth with that 6-game ban, then he shouldn't play in that. But it's also a disadvantage as well for the teams that finish in the eliminators. I know you could say that's their own fault for finishing where they're finishing, but Saints, Leeds, Lee and Wakefield all play a game extra. So under this new system, that's another opportunity for them to pick up disciplinary points going into a semi-final. So in that respect, it's not really weighted. But it is what it is, and everyone knew what we were signing up to. The coaches were in favour of changing it, and I think overall the disciplinary system has worked this year. But if it was up to me, then I would say points don't count in playoffs. It's only if you do something that's worthy of getting a ban, you should get one.
Yeah, I think for your grade, if it's a totting up a grade A's, grade B's, then yeah, I think you're spot on. Greg, I mean, a lot of Carla in the chat, Greg Roach in the chat saying it should be like World Cup, isn't it? World Cup after the group stage, once you go into the playoffs.
Just going to say that, yeah.
It wipes, doesn't it?
Yeah, group stages, all your cards is wiped, and we start afresh because football fans, they want to see the best players in the world playing at the high stage. We want to see the best rugby league players playing at the high stage. And yeah, I think it's a great point. I think wipe it clean. Let's have a fresh slate. Let's have a fresh slate going into the playoffs. And yeah, I can't agree more with what other people have said and what people are saying with the chat. Some could argue that you should sort your discipline out in the regular season, and you've been ill-disciplined through the season, then you maybe get what you deserve in the playoffs. Some people might argue that. But if we're a sport that keeps progressing, that wants to keep progressing, we need eyes on the sport. We need the best players in the biggest games, as far as I'm concerned.
Hallelujah to that. I agree. I think we, that's what we do need. And look, a lot of averages. You mentioned Jez there at 5.5. I mean, a lot of averages. He's only picked up 5.5 in 27 rounds of Super League plus the Challenge Cup. the averages are on his side. That he's playing very, very fairly. But accidents happen, and I think what we need is common sense as well, which hopefully will prevail. That any marginal should really be took into.
So, Mr. Master has made a good point in the chat that wouldn't be fair to non-playoff players who carry it into the next season. It's a good point.
They don't, though, do they? The points reset at the end of the season.
Thought it was every 12
unless you've got a
it was 12 months, but I think they've changed it now to wipe at the end of the season.
There you go,
I think what he's saying is, players that have like our friend who's got the 6-game ban, will that carry into next season?
The bans do, yeah. But I think the points all start at 0 again.
Yeah. Happy days indeed. Well, there you go. And of course, nice to see that Ollie, being magnanimous. If you don't get to the final, it's been a great year.
Well, it has.
And then he stopped recording. And then he stopped recording and didn't really mean that. I want to get to the final. Well, good effort, Ollie, lad. Good effort. Hopefully you're well, my young man. Good to see Ollie in the Titans as well, meeting up with the Super League Raw community. Yeah. Little celebrity Ollie at Craven Park. Wonderful stuff. Right, boys. We spoke about this briefly last week. The numbers are now in. Incredible numbers as well. This is good news in terms of the negotiations for TV rights. So it should be. The club, the sport is getting stronger, which is great. Yeah.
And, it's on the back of what clubs are doing digitally with the social media platforms, I think. The clubs have got to praise. We do kind of, us Warrington fans have been critical of our chief exec for his penchant for, and that's a good word, for social media and using social media. But lots of clubs are doing it now. It gets eyes on the team, it gets eyes on the sport. Clever teams use clever social media to get hits on their websites and to get traffic to the websites and traffic to the clubs. So that for me is one of the big areas. I'm into that kind of thing, the social media side of things, and I think that's an important asset that the clubs have got to continue to use. Because imagine what it'd be like if the RFL had a really, really top marketing team driving the sport forward. The clubs have done, as far as I'm concerned, the clubs have done a lot of this themselves with the use of social media platforms. People might disagree with me, but that's my opinion.
I think you're spot on. Steph, you'd agree with that?
Yeah, I think obviously one of the good things with the IMG gradings was social media and stuff was a key part and a real good opportunity for the established clubs to grow where they couldn't, get extra things in the stadium or LED boards, or that this was a real area for growth. And you can see that the teams that have really done it as well, none more so than Wakefield, who I think are phenomenal with their social media. So not only off the pitch, but on it, not only on the pitch, but off it as well. I think Wakefield have led the way in terms of the stuff that they're producing for their social media. But what this does give us as well is not, a lot of people said, well, Sky going to give us more money. Well, what it does do is it gives us the opportunity to go to other broadcasters and say, look at what we're doing. This sport's on the up, it's growing. Sky don't want to give us more money. Do you want to come in and take over this growing sport? So it's a carrot to go to other broadcasters with, as well as use to Sky as well to say we're worth more than what you're paying for us, which we definitely are.
Yeah, Craig Wolf in the chat, good point. He said, imagine what these figures could have been if we weren't behind the red button. It's a very, very good point indeed. Phil Webster in the chat saying, how can anybody be critical of IMG with this type of... I think, we all agree that IMG scoring criteria has focused the club's attention into some key areas, and there's no doubt about that. But I don't know if you're on LinkedIn, Phil, and I haven't had a response from it. I saw a post that IMG did, We Are IMG. It was about a 2.5-minute video on LinkedIn, and it pretty much had every sport on it bar rugby league. So I sent a message to the Rugby Football League and Super League saying, can I ask a question? Why would rugby league not be included in this? Because that's the concern. They were basking in the glory of American sports, of golf, of pretty much anything and everything bar rugby league. It was unbelievable. So if they are a partner, surely if they're going to put together a We Are IMG, a 3-minute trailer of what they do, surely Rugby League and Super League should be in that. It wasn't. So that's something you might want to have a look at if you've got access to LinkedIn. Just go and find my profile and you'll see that I've had a little nibble, as you do. Anyway, right, let's go into this one. Of course, week 3 of the finals, Canberra Raiders. I mean, Ricky Stewart and the lads, Morgan and Matta. I mean, they thought they'd won it the week before, heartbreak. And then, let's be absolutely crystal clear. They were well beaten.
Oh, the Sharks.
Yeah.
The Sharks were superb.
Weren't they?
Absolutely played them off the park.
Yeah.
A big shock, a massive shock, because the Raiders have been the most consistent team throughout the season, the minor premiers. But it opens it up now. It opens it up, and the age-old argument: how can a team that finishes top of the regular season not be champions?
Well,
but something the Aussies have always done, so they're used to this.
Yeah. Canberra, look, Canberra, Canterbury Bulldogs, massive improvements in 2025. Great seasons. But Steph, I don't know about you. Then you talk Penrith, Steph. They do it again. It was just unbelievable. Let's be fair, all of us were writing them off at the start of the season. They were in terrible form. And all of a sudden, it's like they're right back in the groove. An incredible performance from Penrith at the weekend.
Yeah, well, I think losing Louis, was it? In terms of that thing, I think that had a bit of an effect on them early in the season. When you lose a halfback who was instrumental, along with Cleary as well. But that does have a big effect on your shape and the way you attack. And he was a big character as well for them. So it's took them a bit of time to get over that, but they've come back into it over the course of the season, got better and better. And for me, thoroughly deserved their place in the semi-finals, and who would bet against them now going on and win it again?
Well, your Brisbane Broncos going up against them, Greg. That should be a barnstorming game that on Sunday.
It should, and I think maybe this is the game too far for the Broncos. They've done really well after a couple of seasons in the doldrums, but I think this will be a game too far. Penrith, I've hit the straps just at the right time, I think.
But you say that, but on that point, you talk about marketing. You were talking about marketing a minute ago. Just watch what the NRL do. Reece Walsh against Nathan Cleary.
Mate, yeah.
They're going to be all over it.
Phenomenal. The marketing behind it. You only have to watch the build-up to the games. You only have to watch the build-up to the State of Origin, the grand final itself. Grand final itself is just a magnificent theatre production. It's not a game, it's a theatre production. They say farewell to retiring players. Something we don't do, something we should follow at the grand final to give a big thank you to players who are either returning back home or are retiring, hanging up the boots.
Yeah.
They have top class performers performing there. It's just an absolute, they just do it right, but it is their national sport. So, and it has got the funding behind it that rugby league in this country doesn't, unfortunately.
Steph, Greg touches on the point there around production value for the grand final and the NRL. It's as good as any sporting event that you will see anywhere. Maybe with the exception of this, even though I don't do Super Bowl, I don't do American football, but I appreciate how big that is and how well they do it. I appreciate that. Don't appreciate the sport, but I appreciate the theatre of the sport, especially a Super Bowl final. But the NRL don't have give it a good go to take them on, don't they?
They've nicked it from the NFL. Everything that the NRL do is what the NFL do with American football. It's a complete carbon copy of it. But why would you reinvent the wheel of the biggest show in the world? And nobody, I would say, in the Southern Hemisphere does it better than the NRL. It's a very Americanized production. But that's what Americans do best, isn't it? They put on shows. So, for me, that is exactly the way the NRL should be going. It's the reason that they're in Las Vegas, and it's the market that it's always been for me in terms of the NFL fans in America. If you can buy half of those into rugby league, and let's not be around it's a very similar game, in terms of the hits and stuff like that. So it's something the Americans should love, which is why the NRL are so keen to get the Vegas games going and have them over there, because it is about the show, it is about the fireworks and the pyros, and then the fireworks on the pitch as well.
Yeah, I mean, comments in the chats in terms of course, what we do on Grand Final. I have to say, I had to second look. I thought that there was a vermin problem at Old Trafford this season when I saw Pigeon Detectives. I thought something was going on there. But he's absolutely right. You've got the NFL, it's Beyonce, it's big. I mean, it is a question, love him or hate him, right? But where's Ed Sheeran in the last 5 years? You think you've got a British artist there who's on the world stage. And if you wanted to make a statement, you book Ed Sheeran. Whether you like the guy or not, any fan in the stadium would go, that's an act. Because the biggest...
It cost him £1 million.
Well, I'm not disputing that. I'm not disputing that. But what I would say is, there comes a point where, we need to be at that level, don't we? We need to... And that's what gives you, your word, credibility. When you're pulling in that type of... You say, come and look at us. How many people tune in to watch the Pigeon Detectives? That you've told me the whole point of the halftime show is that people stay to watch the second half. People who don't even do NFL, they'll leave it on. They'll have a look at it. Same with Ed Sheeran. How many people who don't watch rugby league would tune in to see Ed Sheeran at the grand final and then stay on?
It's the gamble you have to take, I think, if you want to take that step into the stratosphere. You're exactly right. Look at how much advertisement goes for in America for the halftime slot in Super Bowl. Yeah. It's worth thinking about. Ed Sheeran would be expensive. Adele, people like that would be very, very expensive.
Why are we not using Simon Wrang?
Well,
exactly. Has he just done the Oasis tour?
Yeah, he's doing.
Why have we not got Oasis at halftime? Why has Simon not said, "Listen, lads, all that work I've just done for you, can you come and do half an hour set at Old Trafford?" Probably because it's at Old Trafford.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Probably it's Old Trafford. But take that. Even a band like Def Leppard are going on tour next year. They've got plenty of fans still around the world. Bands like that.
But the thing about Take That, I mean, let's be crystal here. They probably owe Simon Moran a favour.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a good point. They probably owe Simon Moran a favour. All the support he's given him over the years. So yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? I mean, and then it's like those lads that are coming up. I mean, I remember seeing Ed Sheeran before he made it big at a corporate do, and everybody knew he was going to go on to something. But who's the lad who sings that stargazing song? Who's he? Was stargazing. You and me stargazing. Somebody in the chat give us a helping hand. But I've seen him a couple of times on TV.
Galileo.
No, he's going to be a big. He's going to be big. You can see that he's coming up on the rail. He's an Ed Sheeran-y type.
Nostradamus.
No, I don't know. I'm not down with the kids. But people are listening. They'll know what I'm on about. You've got to go and identify the next up and coming artist, the next Ed Sheeran, and get them in. Anyway.
Yeah. Who's the Geordie guy who thinks he's Bruce Springsteen?
Don't know.
Of course.
Bruce Summerstein, I don't know. Anyway, we move on. Let's get into this. We've been there long enough. The championship. Wow, Oldham. Wow. Take about Halifax Panthers. I did not see that coming. Did anybody see a photo? Miles Smith. Thank you, Jill. And she's Canadian. Even she knows who it is. I don't have a clue. Well done. Outstanding effort. Well done. But yeah, back to Halifax Panthers. Did anybody see Halifax Panthers beating Oldham by 40 points to 4?
No. In a word.
Great win, especially at Oldham as well. Great win for Halifax.
Unbelievable. And Bradford, as expected, getting past Featherstone Rovers. What does that mean? It means this. York take... What a game. York against Halifax to lose Bradford. I think both of them are really good games. I bet York are happy they've got home advantage there.
Yeah, because Halifax again have come up on the rails.
Yeah, that's a hell of a semi-final list there.
It is. Great games.
Yeah,
games.
yeah. Just wondering actually, when are they? Let's do we know when they are?
One's on Friday, I think. Again at the same time. Yeah.
No, let's just have a quick look whilst we're talking. Let's just have a quick. It'll only take me 2 seconds.
Yeah. Sam Fender was the Bruce Springsteen tribute.
I think Toulouse is at 5 on Saturday. I think.
Let's have a look.
They're streaming it.
Are they? Yeah, York. Yeah, it is. No, Saturday. York, Halifax, Saturday at 6. So that's when they play. So that'll clash with the Saints Leeds game, won't it?
Yeah, and the Women's World Cup final. Rugby union as well.
We're not, it doesn't compete with that.
Well, it'll still affect its figures, though, mate. Whether you like union or not, it'll still affect its figures.
What did you say there? What was the name of that sport?
Yes.
Yes.
One of my daughter plays.
Yeah. Anyway, I said there was no wobbles tonight, Greg. You've just got one. Toulouse against
just
Bradford.
State the fact, mate. Just state the fact.
Yeah, I know you are. Toulouse against Bradford at 4 o'clock on Sunday. Well worth a watch. That Sunday one, that doesn't clash with me. Game on. Good luck to all those teams. I, for one, have been really enjoying watching a bit of Championship Rugby League. It's been very good, but
good standard.
Wow, Halifax. What a game that's going to be at York. Go on, have a bit of that outstanding stuff. Right, this has been announced. The contenders for Young Player of the Year in the Men's Betfred Super League. To be fair, we were talking about these players a few weeks back. Harry Robertson, George Flanagan, Lewis Martin was mentioned as well. Junior Nsemba. I mean, nobody praised Junior Nsemba more than we did last year. Junior Nsemba is a talent. He is young. He's entitled to. He's not had a bad season. I mean, you go and get into the detail. Junior has not had a bad season. He's just not had as wow of a season as we saw it. We were expecting more, and that's probably been harsh on him. But because of that, I'm not so sure about him being in this shortlist, lads. Are you?
No, I wouldn't have had him in. I think he's dipped rather than gone up. Well, the trajectory that he was on, and I've no doubt he'll go into the playoffs and probably rip it up. But I think he's got better as the season's gone on. But he was very. I'd hate using the word average, but I'm going to bracket it by his standards again. The first again, I think a lot of that though was teams had done a lot of homework and he was getting targeted a bit more because they know the threat. So that he had to compete with that as well. Like I say, he's had a decent season, Junior. But when you look at impact that players have had on their teams, I think the other three have all had bigger impacts on their teams and over the course of this season.
What age qualifies for this? Did we say you have to be 21?
It's 21 at start, under 21 at start of this season.
20, under 22 at the start of the season.
Under 22, it's 21 at start of
21. But yeah, Junior for me, not as good as last year. I think when we were talking, we fancied Robertson for this one, but the fact that Lewis Martin has now finished the season as top try scorer, do you think he might, because let's be fair, that's what gets you votes, isn't it? At the end of the day, do you think Lewis will take it?
And Robertson and Flanagan have had their injuries this season as well. Lewis Martin, top try scorer. For me, he gets it. You've got to feel sorry for players like Morgan Gannon and maybe Aspiro Bichet or Asparagus Bucket, as I call him, has just come on the scene a little too late for the award this year, but he could be a front runner next year if he carries on.
I think Bichet's a little bit behind these, isn't he? To be fair,
he's still only 19 though, isn't he?
Yeah, he can still qualify next year. I think for me, the fact that Lewis Martin is in the Super League Dream Team 2025, I think it'd be a bit of a nonsense if he wasn't the Young Player of the Year. Yeah, on that basis. I mean, Robertson, Flanagan, Junior, they've had the same opportunity to go up against older players, more experienced players, and get into this Dream Team. The fact that Lewis has done that, surely it's a Lewis Martin Young Player of the Year on that basis.
You'd say so. But what I would say is, I think George Flanagan has burst onto the scene this year in a team that struggled with injuries. And I know Martin has as well. I mean, God knows where Martin would have finished if they could have had, half of their players fit like Asiata, the way they were going. But for me, I think Flanagan's a future England player.
That's a statement.
And I think he's that good. I do think he's that good, and I think he's had that big of an impact this year. So I think he's very, very unlucky. Robertson's already teetering on the England team. Martin as well could very well be the England winger in a couple of years' time. So three really phenomenal players who burst on the scene there, and Sember as well. You know, what it does say is that the future's looking bright, isn't it?
Yeah. It is. Greg Roach saying that Joel wins the Super League Raw Young Pundit of the Year. Well, yeah, he wins that every year. He's very upset, he's Greg, that he's not seen Joel. He's entitled to an holiday. He's still basking in the sunshine. Joel will be back next week. He's only right and proper that he enjoys some quality off time with his family. So we hope, I'm sure Mr. Scholes will be either listening to the podcast or watching this at some point during his break and vacation. Mr. Scholes, good evening to you, sir. All the very, very best. Right, there you go. All right, let's stick on this just for a few minutes more. The dream team. Jay Field, I think it was him or Miller. I personally think, I think Jay's deserving of the spot. With everybody happy with Jay at fullback?
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, Lewis. Let's stay on the wings. Marshall. I mean, we like Liam. Liam's a good lad. I like Liam, I do. And don't get me wrong, I think as a modern day winger, bringing the ball out of backfield, the amount of penalties he wins is unbelievable. I mean, it really is. That said, when there's other players that have scored more tries and have been equally as good bringing the ball out of backfield and have won silverware in some cases. Good evening, Robin. Yeah. Is he fortunate to be in this one, Liam?
Definitely. Tom Davis all day should have been in for me. Closely followed by Burgess, both Hull KR players. Marshall's had a good season, but it's only really in the last few weeks, stroke 6 or 7 weeks, he started to get to the level where we expect from him, and it's good for them going into the playoff because Marshall's really in some form. But there's no way in the memory of man that he should have been in the dream team this year.
But when do you think Carl Phelps scored more tries than him as well?
Oh, don't go there. Don't go there. A lot against Salford, but Jill,
say it.
Great. I have to say, considering how far Jill is away from us over there in Canada, she has got incredible eyes. Because she's right. The glass was going empty. But Jill, there's always supplies. There you go, Sri. Thank you very much indeed for your hospitality. This one is on you. Thank you kindly indeed. The two centres. Now, Petahiku and Yamila Hanley. Do you know what? These are... I'm not saying they're contentious. But I don't think that it's as... I don't think... When we said about Field, slam dunk. Martin, slam dunk. These aren't slam dunks for me. I'll start with Yamila. I'd have been more inclined to give it to the lad on the other side, Steph, personally. But, and I've not got into the detail for ours. That's why I've given myself an extra week. I've had that much to do. I want to get right into the detail. It might be Yamila. I might be talking nonsense. But the feel I get, and you're a Lafer, so you're better placed than me, the feel I get, as much as Hanley has been improving over the course of the season, Tessie New has just been a different level for you.
Yeah, well, I think most people would say Tessie was right up there with the top imports this season, alongside Fertilli. I think those two have really shone in terms of new players that have come into Super League this year. So from that element, yeah, that is surprising. Lots of calls for Hanley to be getting into the England squad at the moment, particularly from his coach, in Adrian Lamb. So you can see why, Hanley has been exceptional for Lee this season. He has gone up. We're talking about players that have gone up a level from where they were last year. That combination he's built with Keenan Brand, who's another one who's probably not getting the credit he deserves by the majority of people. They formed a real partnership for Lee. And also, from a defensive point of view, at the beginning of the season, he started off a bit weak. But as the season's gone on, he's fixed up those things, Hanley. So for me, I would have given it Tessie New. I think he's been phenomenal, but Mile has been great for us as well. He has been outstanding, but I would have gone with Tessie New personally.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Keenan Brandy. I think he's scored more tries than Liam this year as well. Keenan's had a great season. But Steph, that I think most people are saying in the chat, Tessie knew as well. Petter Hiku, I think for Hiku, I thought he was unlucky last year not to be in the dream team. And if we're going to talk over a 2-season period, I've got no issue with Hiku being in there because I think for 2 seasons he has been quality. Absolute quality. That said, if I look at it from a standalone season, the one I feel sorry for the most is probably Jack Broadbent, if I'm being honest. What are your thoughts on that, Greg?
I think Jack Broadbent, again, has probably suffered because he's so versatile. He's played at fullback, second row, centre. He hasn't pinned down a position to make his own because he's so good at a number of positions. I think that's what has counted against him. You've got to think about players like Wardle and Eckersley at Wigan who've had great seasons as well. I think Hiku, was it last season they played him at fullback originally? Was that last season with Hiku?
That was in his debut season, but it didn't last long, did it?
No. But there are it just proves a strength of depth in certain positions that we've got in Super League at this moment in time. I was surprised that Wardle didn't get in there. I must admit.
No, he's not been as good this year for me.
He's been good though. I've been surprised he's not been in. I must admit. When I've seen him play, and obviously that's not seen every single game he's played in for various reasons, but he's always had a decent game.
Yeah, to be honest, mate, it's all opinions.
Yeah,
it's all opinions, mate. Daniel Kilshaw, mate, wow, just wow. Don't let the facts get in the way of a good story, mate. Yes, he's only scored 6 tries, Tessie. Yes, he's only made 1 assist, mate. But are we going to talk about the 3,254 meters that he's done? Are we going to talk about that? Are we going to talk about the fact that actually he's played as a utility forward when they've been down on troops in the middle and has actually alternated between centre and prop during games and been devastating? Are we going to talk about his 141 tackle busts? We're going to talk about that. Just wondering. Are we going to talk about the fact that Tessa averages 8.52 meters a carry? Bruising, sir. Bruising. But there you go. Just saying, I'm all for stats, but if you're going to put stats in the chat, do the whole thing. Don't just do the bits that back your story.
There's different types of centres as well, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's the ones that do loads of work and are bruising, like your Conrad Hurrell type of centres, and then you've got your Jake Wardle types of centres. 2 different types, but you pick which best suits your team, don't you?
Yeah,
it does. It's interesting. Right, let's carry on going through the halfbacks. Jake Connor for me, shoeing. I don't see how he couldn't have been in, and I think we've seen the impact of Jake Connor these last 2 weeks, and we've seen that. The big one's Mikey. Now again, Mikey, he's not had a bad season. He hasn't had a bad season. I'll come to you first, Greg, because I think I know where Steph's going to go here. But Mikey, would he have been in your dream team?
I can see why he's in there, but I think I'm probably going the same direction as Steph might go in. I think Lockie Lamb is very, very unlucky not to be in there. I think he's got more assists, has he, than Connor and Lewis?
41, mate.
He's more tackles, less missed tackles.
Yeah.
Same number of tackle busts as Connor. His attacking kicks haven't been as kind of haven't been as effective. Steph will probably pull me out on that one. But for me, I think I can understand why Mikey Lewis is in it because he's been the face of our game this season. Yeah. But for me, I think Lachlan Lamb is very, very, very unlucky not to be in there.
Well, I spoke to Willie Peters over Mikey's inclusion in the dream team. And it's an interesting conversation because we spoke about, the fact that he was so young, man of steel, to come into the 2025 season holding that title. And it was that was an interesting conversation in hearing what Willie thought about the way he's carried that title this year and the way he's gone about it. So again, look forward to getting that interview. That's coming in the next 24 to 48 hours, folks, courtesy of Super League Raw. Steph, you, I'm sure, are going to go for the defence of Mr. Lamb here, and you'd have thought he should have been in based on his efforts.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, in the dream team, they're picking a standoff and a scrum half. They're not picking halfbacks.
Yeah.
So Lachlan Lamb is a scrum half.
Yeah.
He's not a standoff.
Yeah.
So you compare two completely different positions, if that's what they do, which I'm assuming you've got to, because they're two different positions, although they're halfbacks. So Jake Connor's had a phenomenal season and rightly should be getting the 7 shirt. That is the shirt that Lachlan Lamb plays in, not Mikey Lewis's.
Yeah,
Mikey Lewis has had a really good season. I don't think he's been as good as he was last year, but I still think he's been the best 6 in the competition this year.
Right. Well, I mean, Craig Forfey's going the way of Lamb. I think the thing is here, and look, I'm hearing to everything that you're saying. For me, the thing here is this, and they pulled a bit of a fast one here in the fact that, and we've spoke about this a couple of times, Steph, even though Leeds Rhinos announce Jake Connor as a 6, he plays as a 7. When you watch his game, it's more akin to a scrum half than it is to a standoff.
Yeah, Croft is the standoff at Leeds.
Exactly. Yeah. But so really, what they've done is they pick Connor as a 7, but people say, "But he's not. He's a standoff. He starts at 6 on the team sheet." But if you watch the way they play, that's nonsense. That's just the Leeds Rhinos for me not calling it straight. If you watch the way that Croft plays, he plays as the standoff, and Connor plays as the scrum half. So I'm not filthy that they put Connor in there. I'm not filthy about that at all. I just think Mike is a very fortunate guy this year. I really do. I think he got off like a house on fire. You know, after 15 rounds, we're probably calling him in. We're probably saying he's a shoo-in for Man of Steel and everything. But he's just tapered off as the season. He might come back with a vengeance over the next couple of weeks, but he has tapered off. So yeah, I get everybody's thoughts on that. Front row, Martin and Herman Ese'Ese. Herman should have been in it last year.
Yeah.
Again, if we're talking consistency, yeah, over a 2 season. And do you know what? Up until his injury, solid, absolutely solid. Delighted for Mike. Absolutely delighted for Mike. Friend of the show, Mike. But I'll stay with you on this one, Steph. Alex Walmsley. Where's Alex Walmsley?
Crazy. I'd have had Mike McMeekin and Walmsley would have been mine too.
Do you think Herman not as good this year?
I think just because of I don't think he has been as good. I think he started the season when they had the full, side out. He was one of the main reasons why they were doing so well. I think he was working really well with he plays like your Asiatas, Caesar, etc. But his form dipped before his injury. He wasn't having the impact he had, and for me, this is about. They knew they should have given it over Leeds last year, and they're making up for it. I cannot see how they put him in over Alex Walmsley. I just can't. Yeah. Every conceivable statistic, and on prop forward, you pretty much can go off statistics. It does tell you a lot, and on every conceivable one, I'm sure Alex Walmsley, apart from maybe offloads, would absolutely hammer Herman this year.
Yeah. I mean, I think Herman's edges him on tackle bust as well. But I mean, like I said, overall, all round, I think Walmsley very, very unlucky. Greg, you'd agree with that?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I agree with Steph. I think SSA is a sympathy vote. I think we all know he should have been in there last year.
Should have been.
He should have been in last year. You got a case for Fire Tilly at Wakefield.
Yeah.
If Sam Walters had stayed in the front row, you've got a case of Sam Walters.
Yeah.
But Walmsley, considering he's been written off so many times over the last few seasons, to come back like he has, yeah, I'd have had Alex Walmsley in there.
Delighted for Dean Hadley. In the interest of time, I think Dean Hadley and James McDonald, again, not into the detail. I'm not filthy about that. I think both have had exceptional seasons. And probably one of the easiest decisions. I'll be amazed if I don't pick Morgan Knowles as my 13 this year. I'll be very, very surprised by that. I think that, for me, what a season Knowles he's had at Saints. Absolutely incredible. Right, in the interest of time, let's get on to this. So it's time for the Nixon report, and we've got Young Player of the Year nominees, Mr. Nixon.
I've just been doing I've done the Women of Steel ones.
Have you? Fair enough. Yeah. Well, these are the Young Player of the Year nominees: Ruby Bruce, Leeds Rhinos, and of course Isabella Rowe and Jenna Orbister as well.
Well, yeah, linking in with that is Izzy Rowe and Jennifer Ubister up for Women of Steel as well.
Yeah,
I think, yeah, and Eva Hunt. I mean, Eva Hunter should get this. Should get the Woman of Steel award for me. She's been outstanding all season. She's. I think she scored in 13 consecutive games.
She played well at the weekend.
And she scored a couple again at the weekend. Yeah, and that's in that drubbing of leads. Eva Hunter should get the should get that, and I think Izzy Rowe will probably just pip Jennifer Ubister to the young player. If I'm being honest, Izzy Rowe again they've both been outstanding. They've formed a great halfback partnership. Eva Hunter, if I'm not wrong, with her 13 tries, has done something that has beaten records by Steve Ella, Martin of Fire and Sam Tompkins, that was jointly held by them in scoring in 13 consecutive games. They scored in 12 consecutive games. So that's a good reason why. That's one of the reasons why Eva Hunter, she's a second row. To score that many tries for second row is phenomenal. Yes, they've relied on Rowe and Fubister and players like that to get them in those positions to score. But for me, simply because she's a second rower, I'd love to see Eva Hunter get it.
Well, Nigel Bennett says Izzy Rowe. And do you know what? It just goes to show how little women's rugby league that Craig Forth actually has watched, because he said in the chat for the podcast, Woman of Steel, all three from Wigan. Has that ever happened before? No, because Wigan have never had a team as good as this before in the women's league, is what I would say to Mr. Oh, I don't know. And on that, Mr. Forth, Greg's decided to leave. What's going on there? He's just like, he's had enough. He will be back, I'm sure, in a moment or two. I don't know where Steph is either. This is interesting. We'll have to go alone. Okay, well, I'll fill in the blanks until the boys come back, so I'm sure they will. The grand final is on its way. The Brick Community Stadium, ladies and gentlemen. The Wigan Warriors going up against the Saints. This is going to be an absolute belter. Every time these two teams have met this season, it has been very, very entertaining indeed. You really do need to get yourselves down to the Brick Community Stadium on the 5th of October. Should be an absolute belter. The Wigan Warriors going for an unprecedented treble. If you actually take into account the nines, even more so. Greg's laptop has died. He didn't plug it in. You just, honestly, you just can't write it, can you? Don't know where Steph is either. I'm on my own. Somebody ask me a question. Do whatever you want. But no, bottom line is, happy days. Really, really good. Congratulations to both Wigan and to Saints. So whilst we're waiting for Greg to reboot his laptop and for Steph to come in from the garden, what we'll do now is we will check in on the final Albert Goldthorpe table, and we are now going to announce the Super League Raw Trophy winner 2025. Here we go.
It is now time to congratulate the Players of the Year for 2025, starting with the Albert Goldthorpe Medal. And the winner, after 27 bruising rounds, is Lachlan Lamb of the Lee Leopards, who has amassed 30 points. The top try assister in Super League with 41. He also got 4 tries, has fended off some stiff competition. Between rounds 22 and 27, Lamb picked up 9 points to secure the medal. In second place is Jake Connor with 29 points. He picked up 6 in the same period. In third is last year's Man of Steel, Mikey Lewis. He's got 26 points, having only picked up 2 between rounds 22 and 27. Aidan Caesar also picked up 2 points in that period. He finishes 4th with 25. And Jay Field has had a magnificent rounds 22 to 27, picking up 7 points, and he finishes 5th in the table with 23 points. It is now time to announce the winner of the Super League Raw Trophy 2025. And the title goes to Jake Connor of the Leeds Rhinos, who's amassed 43 points over 27 rounds. Jake has played 25 games in Super League this season with a win percentage of 72%. He scored 7 tries, kicked 73 goals, a vital drop goal, and 30 try assists. In the 25 games he's played, he has appeared in our top 3 players on the park on 13 occasions. He's won 5 Man of the Match awards. He's been in 8 of our Team of the Weeks, and of our 7 Team of the Months, Jake has been in 4 and has been Player of the Month on 1 occasion. There's no doubt that Jake Connor
has been pivotal to the rise of the Rhinos in 2025. Congratulations to Mr. Connor. Now you will see we are not announcing who are placed 2nd to 5th, and that's because the Dream Team will be announced next week and we don't want to give you any clues. But one thing is certain, your number 6 in the Super League Raw Dream Team 2025 will be the Player of the Year, Jake Connor. So there you go. Jake Connor is the Super League Raw Trophy winner 2025. Steph, when you look at those stats and what he's achieved from a consistency perspective over the course of the season, that is the standard of what we do. It's an incredible set of numbers to have appeared in as many of certainly the team of the months as he had. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and I think one of the good things, and why, when we talked about this scoring system, and we had a great debate over what we should do to better the Man of Steel and reward consistency more than anything, is the team of the weeks and the team of the months as well that they've appeared in. And I think that really, that could be the difference for Jake in terms of winning that award and maybe not winning the Man of Steel. I still think he'll win the Man of Steel this year as well. But I think when we get the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th places, I don't think ours will match up with the Man of Steel. I think it'll be slightly different.
I think it probably will be slightly different. Look, Jake's been incredible. I mean, look, we're splitting hairs in the chat. Phil's having a go. Look, bottom line is, for me, I think Jake, he can play 6 or 7. I mean, the argument a moment ago was he's been picked as 7 for the Dream Team, and I can see it. I understand it. He's got the kicking game. He is very, very versatile. I think of all of the players, actually, whereas Mikey Lewis is an out-and-out 6 and, Lockie Lamb is an out-and-out 7. I think Jake can play both roles, Steph.
He can, yeah. But I get the point, because Brodie Croft is their 6 at Leeds, isn't he?
Well, he is, but he's got the game, is what I'm saying. He can play 6. Whereas, if you ask Mikey Lewis to play 7, it makes KR a lesser side, because that's not his game, is it? It's just not his game. And, I think Lockie Lamb, for me, should chances are more in terms of his running game. I do believe that. But yeah, anyway, it's all horses for courses. Bottom line is, Jake Connor, great performance this season, incredible season. And yeah, I think somebody in the chat said it. Who'd have thought this at the start of the year? Who'd have thought this?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Well, me for one. And I think people who have questioned it, had every right to question it. I think he didn't do himself any favours over the past few seasons, but what he has done this year, and you've got to give Brad Arthur a lot of credit here, is he's coached the player that we always knew. He always had the ability. It was always about his attitude, and I think under Brad Arthur and that Leeds, that huge club, he has fell into line and become a team player. And I think that's the biggest difference for me. He's really played as a team player this year. It's not been about Jake Connor. It's been about Leeds Rhinos. And and on the flip side of that, he's had a massive impact on that Leeds team in terms of where they've been able to turn it round. With not a lot of change in personnel from an 8th place team to a 4th place team. That's a phenomenal effort from Brad Arthur as well. And he should take a lot of credit for this award for Jake.
Yeah, so Greg, obviously you missed this, mate.
Yeah, sorry for that. Sorry about that.
Road Trophy winner. Just to fill in the abbreviations on the right for you, he's been in the top 3 of the 25 games he's played this season. He has appeared in our top 3 players on the pitch 13 times. He's had 5 man of the matches, 8 team of the weeks, 4 team of the months, a player of the month, 43 points. What do you make of that, mate?
Can't argue with it. It's been absolutely superb. I caught the end of what Steph was saying, and it's something I get that goes onto my bingo sheet. But he's really found himself at Leeds. He's found his form.
Do you think Brad Arthur's just letting him play the way he wants?
Somebody said that once or twice on this show. Yeah, I think he is. I think he's realised Jake Connor's the player that you don't tell him what to do, and I think maybe coaches have fallen into that trap in the past. Just go out and do what you do best. It works for some players. Some players need to be told what to do. Some players need guidance. Jake Connor's a maverick.
Yeah.
You know, and I apologise. For some reason, my laptop decided it wanted to update Windows.
Oh, like these things happen. These things happen.
For some reason. So I
So
apologise.
next week, we will be announcing the dream team, our dream team. A lot of analytics and a lot of thought is going to go into that. But yeah, well done to Jake Connor. Like I say, spoiler alert, our player of the season will be in the dream team. Right. Shall we hear from some coaches? Had a great opportunity as part of my little day jaunt down to Ellen Road yesterday to meet up with a couple of the coaches. Really enjoyed it. And as you'd expect here at Super League Raw, we asked them questions that perhaps not many other people in the room were asking them. Here we go. Enjoy. To him in a minute, but really delighted for James McDonald. I think he's had an incredible season in second row.
He has, and you know, he's one of those guys you probably take for granted, but I do as a coach, you know, because he's just ever reliable. You know, he turns up every week. I don't have to worry about what Macca's turning up. You know, I know he's going to be physical for me. I know he's going to really come with that effort, and he just gets through his work, and he does a lot of the tough, gritty stuff. You know, he grinds well. He makes it hard for opposing halves, you know, like physically to handle him. So I'm really pleased for him. And you know what, he trains the way he plays. You know, he trains at the same level of intensity. And so it's not a fluke that he plays like that every week.
Like he gets all the headlines. Delighted for Jez. Got the Player of the Year award at the award ceremony on Saturday. You played the game at the highest level. We at Super League Raw talk about Jez as almost a complete hooker. He can run. He knows when to run from dummy half. His tackling is immense. He's got a good kicking game as well. I mean, it must be a privilege to have Jez in the team.
He's a complete hooker. Yeah, and you can't say that about too many hookers or players in the game. And that's not, giving him too many raps, because he's genuinely a complete hooker in terms of, you break the game down, he can do everything as a hooker. You know, like you said. So the area that he needed to work on and improve was his consistency, because he'd probably do it 1 week or 2 weeks and then have to fall off the week after, and or in games he'd sort of go in and out of games, where now if he's on the field for 80 minutes, he's playing for 80 at a level, and he's consistent in everything he does. You know, certainly I think having a guy like Mickey Mack has helped him in terms of understanding the levels of fitness that you've got to get to. And Jez has gone after it this year, and you know he got our best player at our awards night on Saturday, and he thoroughly deserved it. I thought Peter Hickey was not far behind, and obviously Dean Hadley. So 3 guys that are in the dream team got our top 3.
So here we are with St Helens coach Paul Wellens, and Paul, we'll start with Morgan. You said in a press conference, in your opinion, Morgan was the #1 player in the comp. So this is vindication for that and getting the 13 shirt in the dream.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been exceptional for this club for a long, long time. But arguably 2025 has been his best year at the club. And obviously, when he sat down in my office at the start of the year and informed me it was going to be his last year and he's moving on to pastures new, he also made a commitment that he would do everything he can to help his team be successful. And his performances week in, week out have shown that he's a man of his word. Yeah. But also, the recognition of being picked in the dream team, vindicates that as well.
I said to Morgan, I genuinely believe this. I think Alex Walmsley is very unlucky not to be on that stage. Top meter maker as a prop forward. People questioned his fitness because he had a couple of injury problems. 26 rounds this year. He'd have been 27 had it not been for his HIA, wasn't it?
Yeah,
so he'd have done the full 27. I mean, why was he not on the stage? It's madness, really.
Yeah, well, I think obviously, there's obviously a lot of opinion around who should and who shouldn't be. And look, I don't begrudge any of the players who are in the dream team their position, but I do agree that Alex has had an exceptional year for us. And people forget he's 35, and he's 35 and seems to be getting better. So yeah, he's had a huge impact on the team this year, and only in a positive way, which is great for him and us. But he's been in a great frame of mind all year, Alan, and all how determined he is to continue his good form throughout the back end of the year.
Going further into next year, good announcement this week, 2 youngsters coming in from the old enemy. Are you looking forward to developing their careers and what they can offer Wigan in the future?
Certainly, yeah. Both Johnny and Dayon are players I've seen playing from the amateur teams and into the Saints system. And when the opportunity came up to try and get them in with us, losing a few players at the top end, so it's good to to fill up the squad with lads who are young and got the best years ahead of them. They seem like two great lads, and they'll add to the mix of our own young talent as well.
Fantastic. Well, look, thanks for the entertainment you and your team have given us this year. Keep giving it us in the playoffs. Let's hope this is a great playoff series, and best of luck too.
Thanks for what you're doing, mate. It's really good.
Absolute pleasure. Take care.
So there you go. A couple of chats with a couple of the coaches. Your takeaways from any of that stuff, boys? Steph, do you want to kick off?
Don't really. It's going to be a really interesting playoffs, isn't it? And there's some coaches there that have had really, really good seasons. There's some coaches there that have been under pressure, but all that goes out the window, doesn't it? Now it's knockout rugby. It's like the Challenge Cup now, so it's going to be interesting to see how some of those coaches react to wins and losses in the playoffs.
Very nice, that, Mr. Roach. Greg Roach in the chat. I'll read that one. Saying knowledgeable, I'll take it. Not sensationalist, I'm definitely not. Please never change. He's giving me a kiss. Oh, very kindly, Mr. Roach. How nice is that? Stay true to me beliefs. Always do that, my friend. Greg, I mean, look, just for the members' benefit, there's about each of those coaches there that you've seen on screen. There's probably about a 6, maybe 7, maybe 8 minute interview with each of them that's coming your way. That was a snippet of each. But Greg, what did you take from that?
Yeah, I just love hearing the coaches talk, how their own take on players. Sometimes that we as fans watching the game don't see. The fact that Jez Litton might drop off in a few games. Little bits like that about and how they've worked into to kind of work on fitness and how they've watched players from junior levels to come through, and they're picking these players up, and it's that constant kind of treadmill, if you like, of older players leaving and bringing these younger players through. I just love hearing coaches talk about the game, because as fans sometimes we think we know everything, and yet to hear them talk, they're so knowledgeable, and they've done the homework on absolutely everything. So it's great. I know you did a great job there again, Dave. Well done.
Honestly, when you watch the full ones, some really, really interesting insights into the teams, into the thoughts on the playoff series. Very, very interesting indeed. But yeah, I enjoyed meeting them all. Outstanding. More of that on the way over the course of the next few days. Keep your eyes peeled on social media. Of course, all the members, you get the whole thing. That'll be finding its way to you. Some really good questions on the way. Anyway, it's that time of the season where I actually, with a tinge of sadness, but also with a degree of happiness, say that it's the final team of the week of 2025. It means that I can relax, take it easy, give my brain a rest. It is a labour of love, boys. I don't mind telling you. Try doing it for one season, try doing it for 4. But anyway, here we go. The final team of. I'll tell you what's an interesting one as well. It's an interesting one. This team of the week this week. I'll tell you that for free. But here it comes. The final team of the week for 2025. Enjoy.
Team of the week is sponsored by The Good Estate Agent. With an average turnaround time of 3 weeks, if you want your house sold quickly, then contact Stefan today on 01942 356 577. Quote Super League Raw for 33% off. It's the Super League Raw Team of the Week for round number 27 with the good stage for 2025, the final one of the season, folks. Here we go. At 1 is the Slim Man's Private Pile. He has a full metal jacket of tricks, and yes, he likes jelly donuts, but prefers running rings around the oppositions, and yes, he always finds a hole. At 2, and giving his place week on week, is Harvey Barron, the Coronation Street Chesney lookalike, once again delivered for FC despite being on the losing side, and yes, he makes a really good doner kebab. At 3 is the Gingerbeard Supreme, Adam Kieran. He devoured Leeds like a ginger cake. He sunk his goal kicks like I dunked me ginger nut in me brew. And as for his assists, well, they were just pure spice. At 4 is the man who reminds us all of a good old-fashioned morning glory. And the story is that Sam Wood showed once more why the Tigers fans will be foolish to believe his best days are behind him. At 5 is Lyle's best mate, Will Tate, and just like the golden syrup on a delicious pancake, Will produced a hat-trick of quality that made the Cast fans flip and the Saints fans to toss in their beds. Talk about a fright night at the Totally Wicked Stadium.
At 6 is a cross between a wizard and a patisserie. Bevan French makes Warriors fans lick their lips more than me wife watching creme pats be whisked on Bake Off, and just like the custard, Bevan can pump it down the middle, around in circles, or simply ram it down your throat. At 7 is Tyrone Mayer the Robins. His tries were like bookends that kept the literature of the season firmly in place just when it looks like they may be falling off the shelf, but on this occasion the cry "Mayday" was one of glee and not disaster. At 8 is a cross between some jelly and a basketball legend. Guy Rodwell of Wakefield Trinity is on debut, and after a torrid year injury, Rodwell showed what the Trin had been missing. No need for KY here, folks, as his performance was well oiled without the need for lubrication. At 9 is Brad Dwyer. The Rugby League player come Nick Knowles showed he can put a performance together as well as any property. Whilst Dwyer's rugby floorboards may be creaking a little here, a little there, he's still got effective windows and doors. That's right, he can shut down attacks and open up defences with ease. At 10 is Joe Opengawa, the Simon Webb lookalike, who was all rise at the LSB to see off the Giants. The Beaner Rovers have one love for Joffa. Oh, his mother's pride. He made the Giants cry. He plays with hip-hop beats. Yes, Lafers, Joffa is all you need. Now, don't forget to stand for the key change, folks. At 11, no, it's not Keith Deller. He has more ammunition than 3 darts. It's not Ross Keller. Dinosaurs are not his thing. He's not a Keller. He isn't German. He's Alex Meller, who quite simply delivers rugby league performances like Emma Willis delivers babies, and she's prone to busting as well. At 12, and surprisingly, it's Tavita Pangai Jr. Playing the big fella is like being on the wrong end of going on a bear hunt. You know gravity won't let him go over you. You know he's too big to go under you. You close your eyes and hope he goes around you, and then reality bites. He's going to go through you like your 12th pint when your water seal has already been broke. And finally, at 13, is the departing Red Bee himself, James Bell of the Saints. He might look like a Mexican, Riva, but don't confuse him with a baby, because he doesn't come in red wax, folks. Oh no, he can make any opposition go ding dong. And yes, my mother would love you. James Bell, we wish you well as you go to the Black and Whites in 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, that's your final Team of the Week for 2025. Until next year, bye for now. And there we go.
It's been emotional.
It's been emotional. It's been an emotional season, boys.
Dear God.
It's another, you're out there, Greg.
Mate.
A couple of them were close to the bone, I have to say. Very close to the bone. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, there's just enough innuendo in there to keep the dads happy. I don't. Jamie Russell, is this guy a Lee fan? If you're talking about me, no, I'm not. I just call it straight, mate. Call it straight. That's what I do. You watch me every week, you'll know I call it straight. That is the Team of the Week. No doubt about that at all. Steph, you'll be delighted, though, a couple of your Lakers are in there.
Yeah, well, I think he's referring to Brad Dwyer. Let's not forget, Brad Dwyer was he was an outcast of the league team. We actually went to Salford to help them out. Wasn't getting a sniff in, but he's been exceptional since he's come back. Really, really upped his game. And in that Huddersfield game, he was the difference for Lee.
Yeah, he was.
100%. He was the difference.
Won the game for you, mate.
Yeah, and allows Pape to go in at 13, which does make another difference. Pape scored a try off Brad's pass, I believe, in that game as well, and Brad scoring 2 tries. So he had a fantastic contribution, and I think that's probably his first Team of the Week he's made this season. So fair play to him. But no, good to see Pangai Jr. You'll be pleased with that as Warrington fans, not League fans.
Mate, on that, mate, I was amazed because on Captain's Run, they announced the teams and he was at second row. Me and you were like, surely not. But actually, he had a great game.
He did.
He probably had his best game, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah,
I thought Tyrone May was exceptional for KR. The try what he scored at the end there. Yeah, you could question the defence a little bit, but I think you've got to give him a lot of credit for his elusiveness in that moment. And big time players step up in big time moments, and he needed to score that try for them at that moment. So yeah, no, another another really good team of the week for me.
Good man, Greg.
Yeah, no arguments at all, Dave. Good to see teams, Casford players in there. Again, a different Wakefield name in there. With Kai Rodwell, that is boding well for the playoffs for Wakefield. Sorry, Steph, but it is. They've had a lot of players who've been mentioned tonight on this show. Bevan French, as always. Adam Kieran as well. He's had a bit of an up and down season. Good to see him back in there. And Harvey Barron. Hull have got a couple of decent wingers going into next season. They can keep them fit. They could be a threat out wide. So next season, if you can keep everybody fit, and as Steph said, Tyrone May did the business the other night. So yeah, no arguments from me.
No, it's a very, very good team of the week. I like that a lot. That's the last one. We hope you enjoyed it. Like I say, a bit close to the bone on some of it, but you know what? We're safe. There was enough in it. It's fine. It's tickety boo. It will, of course, be back next year in all of its glory. And Mr. Roach, dry your eyes, mate. I know you're gutted that's gone. But it will be back next year. The puns will return. Congratulations to everybody who has featured in a Team of the Week this year. As you know, we put a lot of time and effort into it. Right. Now, I did say at the start of the show that, last year there was a few black and white supporters who felt we were a bit harsh on FC. This year, we've been very fair with FC. But I'll tell you what's really nice is there's no hard feelings with the FC boys. I had lovely fun with the FC boys at the Dream Team. And here it is. I mean, look, the reason you're sat here is one, you try scoring, your effort areas out of backfield. Yeah. But a word to the man on your inside, Davey Litton. You and Davey appear to be having a really good partnership on that left edge. How important has he been for you being on that side?
Massively. I probably have a few beers when we go away. But yeah, like I say, I think David's had a big year. A lot of improvement, and I think me and him have gelled well. The past 10 rounds, something like that. Our combinations grew, and I think it's shown on the pitch. So yeah, he set me up for a few nice tries, a few walk-ins. But I think defensively we've improved as an edge together as well. So, but yeah, I love playing with Davey, and we're really good mates. So.
You've set him up for a few of his own, and you've tried to look after him and set him up, and then he's bringing the ball back. The one that comes to mind is the Huddersfield one, where Caesar dings it over the top, and then you decide, I'm going to have a little bit. I'll be a halfback for a minute and do a rubber kick. You did your best there, and of course you ended up finishing that one off. Yeah. I mean, that was a great try, wasn't it?
Yeah, probably one of the best tries of the season. Obviously.
Have you done the try of the year?
No, I wasn't tonight. So.
You was tonight?
Tonight, yeah.
Could be it.
It could be.
It's got to be a contender.
It definitely. Just shame we lost. Yeah, that was the annoying bit, do you know what I mean?
You can't have everything, mate.
No, you can't.
I mean, that's an interesting one, isn't it? I mean, Huddersfield, they can know Achilles heel this year. It's been unbelievable, hasn't it?
I know, it's been our bogey team this season. Yeah. That's what it is.
They're not getting a Christmas card, are they?
They're not there.
You'd be in the playoffs, mate, if you weren't for Huddersfield. What's going on? Shocking. What have we got planned? So here is Herman Ese'Ese, and of course everybody knows this is a guilty pleasure for me because we love the Herman Ese'Ese at Super League Raw, and he's just told me he watches us and he loves Team of the Week. I'm over the moon. How are you, mate? Okay, good to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Little challenge for the people who run the game. Player cam. I'll put a player cam on you. Would you wear a player cam for a game?
Yeah, probably would.
Yeah, get on that.
Yeah,
you've got to go on that.
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
Come on. Oh, that'd be outstanding. Do you love all the? I mean, we call you the Herminator. Do you love the fact that not only the FC but the wider rugby league community really took you to the hearts, really, in terms of we love honest players, gritty players, and that's you all over. Do you feel that even when you're at opposition grounds that there's a lot of respect?
Yeah, 100%. And I love that. I love the respect, and I love little things like getting called the Herminator, and but with all that, you got to earn that right. And I just try and do the best I can out on the field, and hopefully the right people are watching, like you guys at Super League Raw. I appreciate what you guys have said about me, and obviously I just obviously there's a lot of pressure of I'm trying to live up to the Herminator name, but it's good.
Yeah, well, you'll be back next year. Let's end on that. The injury, obviously gutted for you. When are you looking that you'll be back in 26?
So I've spoken to the head physio and the specialist. They're saying 6 to 7 months. So aiming for a late March or early April return, which is still early in the season. So
They're saying if there was ever time to get injured, it would be the time that deadline. So by the time preseason comes, that's 3 months down, and after preseason, it'll be only 5 months and a month to wait, and then be shipped back into it.
And of course, for a big guy like yourself, fitness now, you're going to have to be very disciplined.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Not too much turkey at Christmas.
Nah. All salad.
Cranberry sauce to one side.
Yeah, no carbs.
Mate, it's an absolute pleasure meeting you. You are a legend.
Appreciate it.
On behalf of everybody, thanks for your service to the game. Go well, and we'll look forward to seeing you.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Thanks, brother. Nice to meet you.
Absolutely. Guilty pleasure. Guilty pleasure, Herman Ese'Ese.
Herman Ese'Ese watches the show.
He does, mate. He was all over the team in a week. He said,
I thought you deserved your place in the dream team, mate. Walmsley, who's he?
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, no, mate, honestly, you know, I have to say, I was close to fanboy there. You know, I love a bit of Herman, mate. But when he said he watches us, and when he started talking about some of the things we've said about Team of the Week, he said, I tell the boys get on it. He said, I tell the boys get on it. He said, it's just brilliant fun. So yeah, boys, the Hermanator watches Super League Raw. Have a bit of that. I'll tell
Love you, Herman. Love you.
But no, really, really good guy. Really, really good guy. In fact, all rugby players are a good bloke. There's not many bad ones, is there, to be fair? But no, good fun. Lewis Martin, I had a right chuckle with him. He's just laughing his head off. I don't think he liked me ringing up the Giants.
Went a bit cold.
Went a little bit cold. Bless him. But like I say, there's loads of good stuff. Loads of good stuff coming the way over the next 24, 48 hours. Good conversations with a lot of people at the Dream Team. Really enjoyed it. Great to see us getting access to that. We're only going to get bigger and better. The good news as well is that I had good conversations with the media team at Leeds. They're going to be playing ball with us next year, which is fantastic. Wigan want to do loads of work with us, which is great. Obviously, we're already in with Warrington. We're confident we're going to get Lee. We're confident we're going to get Huddersfield Giants next season. So, we'll just keep pushing along, folks, and we'll keep giving you great entertainment for the cost of one latte a month, £4.99. You get all the shows. You get loads of content. We're only going one way. Be an early adopter. Get on board. You know, it makes sense. Right. There's 25 points left in the prediction league. That's it. 25 points left. 2 playoff games this week, the semis and the final. And the members lead. The members took the lead. Steph had a bit of a shocker. The members had a belter. They had 21 points at the weekend, the members. 384 plays 382. Greg, you're still in it. 376. For the rest of us, we're bowing out. We're done. We're not going to get there. Joel, myself, the non-members, Earl, we're out of it. We're done. I think the podium is pretty safe, to be fair. It would take a disaster from you, Mr. Dixon, not to be on the podium
Hold
at
back
the end
here.
of the season. But yeah, great effort. Still hard to play for. But yeah, the members lead. Right. We've got, approximately... Well, not that long, actually. Of course, we've got the captain's run. If it's okay with you, gentlemen, I'm going to have to do the captain's run a little bit later on Thursday because I'm working until, I think, it's at 6 o'clock. So 8 o'clock? 8 o'clock okay on Thursday for the captain's run? Marvellous.
I think I might be able to make that, yeah.
Fantastic. So captain's run is 8 o'clock this Thursday night, where we'll get in depth about the 2 playoff games that are being played this week. Let's have a little chat about them anyway, boys. What else are we going to do for the next 10 minutes? What a game. 2,000 fans on the way to the LSV from the wonderful Shire that is Wakefield. Great for the sport. On a Friday night that the Trim fans are going to travel in numbers. Should be a great atmosphere, Mr. Sale. And one, they did you well at home. And in the other 2 games, I'm right in thinking you won by 4 and you won by 6.
Yeah.
If memory serves me
That's
right.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a right ding-dong, isn't it?
It is. It's going to be... for Wakefield, first and foremost, phenomenal travelling support. You'd expect that. The season they've had. I think it's the playoff tour. They're classing it as, and it could well turn into a tour. The way that they played against Hull KR proved that they can beat anybody in this comp. They could do the unthinkable and go to Old Trafford in their first season, which for a team, I think what Lee did in their first season was phenomenal to make the playoffs from a championship start to do that. If Wakefield could go one better than that and get to an elimination semi-final or even a grand final, would be, it's on a par with Leicester winning the Premier League, isn't it? It's that kind of achievement. And their team on their day is 100% capable of going to Old Trafford. That's how good they can be on their day. So, yes, it's going to be a phenomenal test. I think one thing you can guarantee at the LSV is it's going to be a phenomenal atmosphere. It will be bouncing that stadium from both sets of fans. I'm really looking forward to the game. And regardless who wins or loses in this one, I think both teams can go out of it proud, whether they win or lose. Lee's best ever season in Super League, highest ever points, highest ever position finishing. So if Lee were to bow out at this stage, I would be happy in terms of progress. It'd be disappointing, of course it would. But on the flip side, Wakefield, if they were to go out, what a season they've had, and what a season they're going to have next season with the players that they're bringing in as well. They've been a breath of fresh air to the competition. But if they go on, what a story that'll be for Super League and for Rugby League, as well. So, what Mr. DIY Kitchens Matt Ellis has done for Wakefield, no one would argue if they got their chance to go to KR and face KR at Craven Park. What a game that would be as well. So, yeah, from a neutral point of view, it's the only game on. It's going to be a fantastic occasion. So whether you can get to the ground or whether you're watching on TV, everyone will be looking forward to Friday night.
What do you think, score?
I've got to back my team, haven't I? So I'm going to go Lee 1-8. But I think it could even be a golden point. I think that's how close these teams have been at points this season. Both sides are capable of putting an 18 plus on each other as well. But I just got a feeling in this game it's going to be a real close one. I'm going to just go Lee 1-8.
You're on Lee 1-8. And I'll tell you what, it's a good bet. It's a good shout that based on the fact that, like I say, with the exception of that blowout, which was a bit, probably said more, a bit of both really. Wait, that's the risk here.
Lots of injuries as well for Lee in that game.
But the risk for Lee here, and it is the risk for Lee, and it's the risk for any team in the playoff. And this is where I think it's great that Wakefield are in it. Had Hull sneaked in with the injuries they got, I don't think they'd been. I just don't think in playoff rugby league they'd have been competitive. Wakefield, if they're on, Lee have to be on. Because they'll lose, and Wake, it's the same. Whoever Wakey are a real quality opposition for anyone. I mean, don't get me wrong, Wakefield at the best taking on certainly KR, Wigan. You could maybe throw Lee into that equation, having been 2-1 up this season over him. You could argue that Wakey at the best against those three at their best, they probably just about lose it. But if any of those three fall off, Wakey were at the best, they'd take them.
The biggest thing that Wakefield have got is the underdog, nothing to lose mentality.
Correct.
And lately at the home team, they're the third place finishers. All the pressure is on Lee to perform in that game. No one. All Wakefield will get win, lose or draw is congratulations. Lee will get slated if they lose this game.
And do you know what? I'll tell you this, Greg, right? At the Dream Team, I was talking to Mike McMeekin, and the impression I got was exactly that they're going in with if we go out, then we've had an exceptional season, and that's dangerous. If they're that relaxed about it, the pressure, home tie for Lee, the pressure is on Lee. There's no doubt about that. Lee have got the pressure on their shoulders. Yeah. Great position for Wakefield to be in.
I mean, you both took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say that Wakefield going.
I didn't know we have meatloaf here, but anyway, go on. Carry on.
Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Absolutely not.
I was going to say that Wakefield got absolutely nothing to lose. For me, the phenomenal thing about this is both these teams have been playing championship rugby in the very recent past. And for them both to be where they are is absolutely, is phenomenal for both sides to be where they are, to be playing playoff football at the end of the season. I think, Lee have to be favourites. They've got the home advantage. They'll have a ferocious crowd behind them. The atmosphere will be sensational. Wakefield fans will play their part in that. And you would expect Lee to win this, given the season that we've had and given Lee's form over a number of seasons. But I just get one of those feelings. I'm sorry, Steph. playoff football does funny things to players. We've seen what happened down under over the past couple of weeks. And partly because I have to go against Steph to get above him on the table, but partly because I think, and I'm with you, Steph, I think this could be golden point, but I'm going 1-8 Wakefield.
Wow. I mean, look, Tom Massey.
That's nothing personal, Steph.
It never is, mate. It's a prediction.
You look cruddy.
Tom, no, he knows you've got more wrong than him this season. Tom Massa, he said he'd rather play set. I get that. I get that. I think I absolutely get that. I think, Saints for me, they haven't really been firing. Be interested to see what they do against Leeds. Of course, we'll come on to that in a minute. But I get that. I do. A lot of love in the. I mean, look, Nigel Bennett's gone Wakey 1-8. That must hurt as a Casper fan. Well done. Steve Rudge 9-17. The Trin. That's interesting. Craig Forth gone Lee 1-8. What else we got? Simo's gone Lee 18+. That's a big one. Don Kurt. Oh, no, I don't know what that is. Where are we? Phil Webster Lee 18+. Ben Macklin 9-17. A lot of love for Lee. Jono's gone Wakey 1-8. Which is interesting. But yeah, I'm going to go Lee 9-17. And the reason I'm going Lee 9-17 is... Pardon?
Joey.
Well, that's a big factor. It's a massive factor. But I just think the edges, I think New and Hanley, when you look at the edges, I just think there's a bit more quality on the edges from Lee. I think, and the fact that you've not got Jowett on the arch, I just think the edges, it's tailor-made this for Lee. The edges are so strong. As well as Cam Scott played last week, John Stone, I'm not sure if Walmsley's back for this one or not. It might be him, it might be Myers still, I don't know. I just think, just the edges. I just get a feeling. We know that Lee like to be expansive, and I just think they've got the edge on the edges, and that's why I'm going a bigger score, 9-17. Should be a hell of a game. Leeds against Saints, we've got to do play of the month, so we've got to be quick on this. We're going to get into detail on captain's run. This should be a belting game. Leeds this year, of course, we saw them at Magic against Saints, and the Saints will be up for this. There's no doubt about it. Remember last year when everybody wrote them off, Greg, and they came to the HJ and it was golden point. Leeds can't remember it well. Granted, but Jake Connor plays. I'll tell you that now. Jake Connor plays. That's an absolute. That was crystal clear yesterday at the Dream Team. So over to you, Mr. Nixon. Is Morgan Knowles potentially his last game as well? Going to be a lot of emotion. How do you see it going?
Again, it's a very close game to call. Saints have improved this season endlessly. Again, they've had a lot of players who've been who've kept the fitness this season. That's helped. Alex Walmsley has been superb, as we've all said. But Leeds have hit the straps just at the right time for me. Leeds have done a Leeds and bubbled under the radar, and then when the time is to play and to put a string of results together, they've done it. I do think Leeds will win this, and I think they'll win it 9-17.
Righty, mate. Good man. Mr. Sale?
Yeah, another one that's going to be an absolute cracker, this one. And I think Saints are going to surprise a few in this game as well. Whatever it is between Leeds and Saints always seem to be there or thereabouts against them and have a far better record over the last 20 games played than what Leeds do.
Correct.
They've also got the narrative, like you say, of Knowles. Last game, potentially, they won't want to go out that way. Connor coming back's massive for Leeds, but my question with Connor is when you're a halfback, we saw it with Bevan French. He was out for a bit, came back and was phenomenal straight away. Can Jake Connor do that? And with a rib injury, this is where I've got real concerns. And we saw when you took Connor out of that Leeds team, they looked quite ordinary.
Yeah.
I think this could be the shock. I'm going Saints 1-8.
Whoa, that's a biggie. Saints 1-8. Leeds 9-17 seems a big one in the chat. A lot of people going there. Ben Macklin's gone Saints 1-8 like you. Phil Webster the same in there as well. But yeah, a lot of love for Leeds in the chat. But you're right, Saints have got a great record. Maybe not Magic this year, but great record against the Leeds Rhinos. Right, we haven't got time. Get you in the chat very quickly. You're going to have to be quick. Of the 13 players, boys, that were in the starting 13 for the team of the month. Very quickly, Steph, who do you think is going to get the player of the month for September?
Lino.
You going to Lino?
No, actually, no. I'm going to go Bevan French because Lino lost the game, didn't it?
French. Okay, Reggie?
I'll go Jez Litton.
You're going Jez Litton. Here we go. So here you go, ladies and gentlemen. The player of the month, the final one of the season, goes to Jay Field of the Wigan Warriors. 3 tries, 3 assists, 18 busts, 4 breaks, 41 carries, 4-9-4. Bevan French, don't get me wrong, has been exceptional. But for me, Field all season and his telepathy and some of his runs have been incredible. Quick word on it, Steph, your thoughts?
Yeah, he's been brilliant, Jai Field. More so over the whole season. I think we talk about his connection with Bevan French, but a lot of the season he's done without Bevan French. And since Bevan's come back, Jai's gone up another gear as well. So I can definitely see where you've gone with that one. And he's when those two are firing, watch out everybody else, and that's probably why we're gonna favourites at the moment to lift the grand final. You do worry me. There's an interview that's coming with Jay Field, and some of what Steph said we discussed. Interesting, and he doesn't even know that. Greg, your thoughts on Field?
Very quickly, yeah, what a class player, and I've got no qualms about that decision whatsoever. The guy's class, as you say, his partnership with French is superb. So yeah, well played. All the players have deserved the place in that team of the month. Jay Field, yeah. Nice one.
Well, we'll end the show where we started it. Tomorrow night, the Bluebell Super League Raw in Warrington. If you live in Wigan, St Helens League, of course, Warrington. Get yourself to the Bluebell. Come and support us. Great night of quizzing. It's going to be a great night. You play on your phone. It's all multiple choice. And if you're not a rugby league fan or your partner's not a rugby league fan, there's a general knowledge quiz that we do alongside it. It's going to be a great night of entertainment. So all of the members out there who can, please do come and support it. I'd love to see you down at the Bluebell tomorrow night from 7 p.m. That's us for another week. We will be back, of course, for the captain's run. That is going to be 8 o'clock on Thursday. We've got a phone-in on Friday after the game between Lee and Wakey. And, of course, we will be back for the final whistle with the members on Monday morning. And we'll be doing this all over again next Tuesday. On behalf of me, Greg, and Steph, thank you as always for your love, support, and company. Enjoy your first round of the playoffs, folks. We will. Bye for now.
Here are your top performers after 26 rounds of the Betfred Super League. The new top try scorer is Jay Field of the Wigan Warriors. He's on 24. Whilst the most try assists have still come from Lachlan Lamb of Lee Leopards on 40. The most metres made is still Lachlan Miller of Leeds Rhinos, 4,108. Whilst the most clean breaks is still Budgie Joe Burgess for the Robins, 28. The top tackler is Jared O'Connor of the Leeds Rhinos, 993. Whilst the top tackle buster is once again Lachlan Miller, 184 for the Rhinos. The most hard metres made down the middle have come from Alex Walmsley of St Helens, 3,124. Whilst the most offloads continue to come from Tane Milne of Huddersfield Giants, 46. And we have a new top goal kicker for Super League. It's Arthur Morg on 74 for Hull KR. These are your top performers after 26 rounds.